Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Goren and Medinat Yisrael, Part 1. 22nd of Cheshvan is the Yisrael of Goren, passed away over 20 years ago. Many people are not familiar with him, and those who are familiar with some of the controversial issues that he was involved in, and they fail to see what a great man he was, and that things that he implemented at the time of Hakamat Medinat 70 years ago are still functioning today. So a little bit about who the man was. He was born in Europe, came over as a little kid, was originally with a group of Hasidim, made Aliyah. They were farming the land, they go at it, and it was not simple. He was busy also working with minimal education. He moved to Yerushalayim, and something struck him there. And then his genius started to come out. People saw that this person is heading for greatness, learning Torah, mastering text after text, Gemara, Shas, Baal Peh. It was clear. He was learning the Hebron when he was 12 years old, and he was quite brilliant, had an amazing memory, and he was very independent-minded already from day one. Took a tremendous liking to Rav Kook. He already wrote his first book on Rambam, age 16, with approbation from Rav Kook. And he was vacationing often and spent time with Rav Kook. So Rav Kook had a powerful influence on his life, and of course gave him a tremendous appreciation for the budding religious Zionist movement. And he was here at the time of Hakamat Medinat. He fought in Haganah, and he was learning every free moment, and he was fighting in every free moment. He was doing both and defending Yerushalayim. And there he was there, and when Yerushalayim looked like it was going under, we lost the old city. It looked like the whole Yerushalayim was going under, ready to surrender. And he went ahead and convinced the yeshiva bachrim, even some of the Satmar boys. The rabbi said, listen, Shkinsky said, I cannot be involved in this. He went right to the boys and said, listen, if the Jordanians are going to be attacking us Shabbos morning, we have clear information, and they're going to be coming with a line of tanks on the morning of Shabbat. If we did massive bunkers, they will collapse the tanks into them, and then they'll just turn back. If we don't do it, they will overrun Yerushalayim. And people say, Shabbat, blah. He convinced everyone to do it, and lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. First tanks fell into the bunkers that were built, and by the yeshiva students through Friday night, and Baruch Hashem, Yerushalayim was saved. So he was there at the magical moments at the Hakamat Medinat, the establishing of the state. He was there in 67. He himself, of course, climbed over the tank into the old city. The tank that was stuck, he climbed into the old city to Har HaBayit, to the Kotel. He went into Hebron first with his driver. He was a man with no fear at all, an absolute genius, and he was totally in love with the Eretz Yisrael and with this new situation, the new reality. He knew and he sensed in every fiber of his bones that 4867, these are clear signs of the Geulah, the redemption of the Jewish people. And he dedicated his life to rebuilding Tzahal, rebuilding Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael. Yetz Hashem, the next couple of shirim, I'd like to go ahead and point out some of the institutions that he created. Mamash out of nothing. We have no Shulchan Aruch on halachos of tzava, and he had to go ahead and create this all from nothing in 1948 and on. So Yetz Hashem, in honor of his Yurtzah, in honor of this great man, we will learn more about some of the innovations that he had in the creations in the state of Israel and Sahel. Shalom.